And I'm going to do a share screen. Okay, so welcome to the introduction to Equeen Leadership. So tonight's session is all about what is this thing called Equeen that we have termed, and also on feminine leadership. And a lot of times when I talk about feminine leadership, a lot of people think it is about women leadership. Feminine leadership is in fact an energy, and it can be for both men and women. It's not gender specific, but it is the energy within us on how we lead our lives, how we lead our business, how we lead our families, how we lead our organizations, and also in our personal relationships. Yeah. So tonight we'll be talking about the introduction of feminine leadership and using feminine energy to lead, grow your community, manifest things that you desire, to create maybe projects or create solutions, and strengthen relationships and build a life and business or career that you desire. Yeah. So just a little bit of sharing on why we are doing this right now. We've learned a lot during our time during COVID, and we had a lot of experience in terms of how COVID has affected our mindset, and how I noticed the way people lead others and lead themselves. At this point, I would like to welcome Zeal, who is also here with me. And Zeal, if you can show yourself on camera for a short while.
Hello.
Yeah. And I'd like for you to share on our experience during the COVID times.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Okay, my name is Zeal Zainuddin. I am Mushidah's husband and also her business partner for our Love, Respect, Transforms, who have been doing coaching and training for more than 15 years. So, yeah, Murshidah asked me to share about our COVID lockdown story. It's quite an amazing story. So, what happened was, before COVID was announced, the lockdown was announced, it was in February, if I remember, if I'm not mistaken, February or March, sometime in March. And then there was one night when I was about to sleep. I was already going to sleep, doze off already. Then I heard Murshidah crying. I was wondering, Mama, why is Murshidah crying? Then when I found out later on that she was crying because we found out that it was a lockdown, and all our training that we already confirmed for the 1 year, right? Our plans to travel, our plans to expand our business to other countries was cancelled indefinitely, because when the lockdown happened, we don't know when it's going to open up again. So she was crying because of that, right? Because of the uncertainty, where we still have a lot of expenses that we need to pay, but there's no income that is coming in. Right? So what we do in this kind of situations, because we have been through a lot of self-development seminars, personal growth, right? We spend a lot of money in investing in our personal growth. We did not panic, we did not react to it. What we do, we just sat down, had a meeting, and we find, okay, what is our solutions? What can we do to be able to, continue our business and even make it better? So what we did was we restart all the resources that we have and all the contacts, the network that we have, and we started calling them one by one. And one of the people is in this picture. His name is again. Dennis. Now his name is Dennis. Sorry, I forgot his name. His name is Dennis, and then he's from Canada. He has a software development company. So we actually asked his advice. How can we now we can do our business any more seminar or physical kind of seminar? What can we do to continue our business? He said, okay, you must take your business online. Since I already have the software development company, I will help you. I will let you use my software, and then you can continue to do your business online. So that's how we started. I started, like every day I spend 1 hour every day to learn how to do my business online, right? And then maybe I said, maybe give ourselves about 6 months for us to be able to at least break even or see some profits. But I was amazed that in that 1 month plus, our whole profit was even more than the whole 1 year's profit of doing business offline, because that a lot of things, because there's no more cost involved in transportation. We don't have to book a venue. We just do a Zoom call like this, and it saves a lot of cost. And because of it's online, and because we're visible, we got customers from all over the world, from Costa Rica, from Japan, from Trinidad and Tobago, which we will never be able to do if we were just doing offline. So that's why we decided, after that, we saw a lot of challenges that entrepreneurs and leaders face. Then we decided, okay, let's do a community, a conscious business community, where we actually coach entrepreneurs who want to grow their business, but at the same time, we want to be able to do good, because all these crises, COVID nowadays, is a lot of people suffer. So what can we do as an entrepreneur to help people who in need? They need help. We do we add a social impact, whether it's for low income, for us we do for refugees, for environment. So it's up to them, let them decide. So that was our first meeting we had with the people, that our members, to share about our mission. And a lot of them, they join us and they support us. And a lot of them, the entrepreneurs that join us, are very successful in their own right already. That means they're already doing their own business. Their business goes globally, as well as they also have their own social impact, building schools in Indonesia, helping low income single mothers, and a lot of other things as well. So I really encourage you guys tonight to really take in the information, because this is a combination of a lot of knowledge that we have over the years. We want to share with you, and also we also provide not just content, but solutions for other things that is going to happen in the future. It can be crisis, it can be whatever challenges that you have, or whatever you want in your life. We are actually going to give you a framework in this session, and then if you want to continue the journey, then you can continue with the next course that we have as well, right? So with that, thank you very much. I pass back to Murshidah. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Zeal. Now, during the COVID times also, what we noticed about businesses, a lot of big businesses, including Robinsons, that I've known since I was growing up shopping in Singapore, right? It closed down, and it's been 100 over years existing. But during COVID, it closed down, can you imagine? And that's not just the one company. There were also other companies like hotels, like media companies that closed down because of COVID, right? And this is one hotel also in Penang that Zeal and I used to go to, and also closed down during the pandemic. So what we notice is, okay, my cat is here. So what we notice is that a lot of people are not prepared for something like this, and especially individuals. During that time, we faced a lot of not only normal people are going through a lot of challenges financially, but also business owners. And even in our own business circles, we've got friends who contacted us and said, so-and-so actually committed suicide, and this person has a company that has over 30 people in their business. And it's a time when people were feeling very distressed and uncertain. But you know what? COVID was not something new. It was already talked about. Only a lot of people did not take it seriously, because at that time, everything looks okay. And they were busy firefighting and doing things, getting very busy with things that they didn't think of ahead of them, yeah? So when those people who were aware, they've already prepared for it, right? So main thing, challenges that a lot of leaders face also when we notice over the last couple of years, and also especially since COVID, is that the leaders feel, and when I talk about leaders, I talk about people who have at least one person following them, depending on them, yeah? It could be you leading your family. It could be you leading your business, and maybe you have one other business partner or a staff with you. It could be you in an organization. You are working in a company and you are in charge of a department or a team of people, or you have been put in charge of a project. So leadership does not mean, oh, you are a leader of a country. Not necessarily just that. Leadership is also about you managing your life, right? So some of the challenges that I notice leaders face is getting good quality followers, people who actually follow them, that are right for them, right? And also other challenges include struggling to lead the people and in their organizations, yeah, their team as well as in their organizations. And also sometimes the challenges that some leaders face is that people do not want to follow your lead. They do things in their own way, or you may want to provide direction, but they are not following it. And there's something that is holding your followers back, and also you as a leader back, yeah? And the other thing, a lot of other things that challenges leaders face also is there's a lot of negative people in their circle, whether it is co-workers, employees, people in their community surrounding them, sometimes even family members, you know, or friends that so-called friends that they are surrounded by. That's what sometimes they also face in terms of when I say toxic co-workers and employees. These also include the people in their circle. And the people in your circle is very important to get quality, positive people, because otherwise it's very challenging for anyone to be successful when, you know, the surrounding is negative, right? And one other thing is that, you want to say something? Okay, go ahead.
Can you go to the previous slide?
Okay.
Okay, so I would just want to share about some of the problems or challenges that leaders face. It's not just business entrepreneurs who are doing business or leaders in a community. It's also parents as well, because as parents, we also are leaders. We also are leaders. So then we also have a lot of challenges as well, because I've seen in during COVID times, when parents have the right values, have the right way of parenting, the right leadership, their children are happy to be in the house. They flourish. They achieve a lot of things during COVID. They learn a lot of new things. But if the parents themselves are not have the right leadership, a lot of things happen. The domestic abuse cases increased during COVID. There were some cases where the husband killed the wife and all that. It's very sad, right? So that's why we are, for us, as when we see this, we want to find solutions. That's why we are conducting these kind of workshops to provide people solutions, not just for only business people, but even as parents. Anytime that you are leading people, right? You have your children, you're also a leader. You also need to have the proper leadership skills and the knowledge as well. Yeah. Thank you, Pastor Murshidah.
All right. Yeah, and also sometimes all of these challenges, how can you overcome these problems? So one of the key things that we recommend, and I've seen this over the couple of years. So sometimes people say, oh, you know, I don't have that many followers on my Instagram. I may not have, that many large number of people that I speak to in terms of my seminars or classes and all that. But I know the kind of clients, followers, employees and all that, the kind that I want in my circle. So I'm very clear of that. And once I'm clear of my ideal clients, ideal followers, ideal people in my circle, you know what? Even with a few people, you can actually, especially if you are running a business, right? You can actually earn more and doing less work, because the people in your circle are the ideal people that you are supposed to be working with, right? Rather than you have a big group of people and, and there are a lot of negative people and, they some of them are not the right people in your circle. And it's just not very, it's just a lot of hard work and not enough, returns from all that hard work, right? So the main thing is for you to know who your ideal clients, followers, employees are. All right. Next, you must also be able to communicate your vision and mission and purpose. So a lot of you who are in our circle already know, because if you are already in our space here, you know that Zeal and I are running a company called Love and Respect Transforms Holdings. And we have a One Health, One model where every training and coaching also contributes to the mindset and skill set training of marginalized communities, including low-income refugees, to come out of poverty, start their own business so that they can earn their own income. So when you communicate with your vision and mission and purpose clearly to your people, they know what you stand for, right? And the other thing is you are clear of your boundaries. Clear on your boundaries means that you know that you live with love and respect. You love everyone, but there are boundaries that they cannot overstep you. There are boundaries where they know they have to respect your space and your who you are, what you stand for. They will not bully you. They will not try to undercut you or take over certain things without your okay. So you are very clear of what and who you stand for. Yeah. And also the other thing is the change in your leadership styles, especially the way we are moving in the world right now. And I highly recommend right now, we are talking about more holistic way of leading. We are talking about feminine leadership. And what is feminine leadership and why is it so important? And this is something I would love to share, because I see a lot of people still, the way they run businesses, the way they run their families, the way they are running companies is very much on a unhealthy masculine way of leading. And I'm saying unhealthy because masculine is not bad. Masculine leadership, we've been taught masculine leadership, you know, your goals, your strategies, your time, your directions, all this is very masculine, right? And how many times you have to promote in order for you to get all of those things, you know. So those were things that you've done in the past. But if you are someone who is especially female, and you also have a feminine nature within you, all of these things become very stressful. And I believe that through feminine leadership, you can actually use your feminine energy to create big money, big income, big vision and goals, getting the right kind of people, your followers, your clients, the quality ones, and you will do less work and earn more. Yeah. And this is what I educate people on right now, on feminine leadership. So why is feminine leadership so important? And during COVID, we could see this in some of the countries that were led by women, women who practice feminine leadership. Yeah. So you can see from countries like Taiwan, like what's that? New Zealand, right? They deal with it a lot better than other countries that are very masculine and very much, you know, instructional, and you get a lot of revolt because of that. Yeah. And this way of leading is so powerful. If you can do this way of leading in your business, your customers, you don't have to sell. Your customers come to you. When this is the way for you leading in a company, if you're in a company and your staff will not be gossiping about you or talking bad about you and resisting you. They want you there. They want you to be the leader. They want you to show them, you know, I want to do it this way. Show me how. They want to be followed. They want to follow you. They want to be led by you, because you know what is their purpose, and they're doing it not just for you or being forced to, but because they want to and they are excited to. And that is what feminine leadership is very, very powerful on. Yeah. So feminine leadership focuses very much on relationships. And these qualities include compassion, receptivity, collaboration, sensitivity, empathy, intuition, cooperation. Is very nourishing, it's inclusive, it's creative, it's vulnerable, it's enhancing the self-worth of others. It's also systems thinking, generosity, and altruism. Now, a lot of times in the past, when I talk about this, people will say, nobody will want to follow you. People will bully you if you are compassionate. A leader, they don't care whether people like you or not. You know, they just have to lead. They have to fulfill a purpose. Now, that kind of leadership is very masculine, and it works. It works in certain occasions. With COVID, you cannot do it purely on masculine leadership. You've got to incorporate feminine leadership. And a lot of times people are a little bit unaware of how do you do feminine leadership, especially when it comes to business, right? So this is where I find that my work on feminine leadership and my work with coaching business owners, coaching leaders, coaching even parents has actually transformed their lives when they start to step into, I call it their queen and king mindset, right? People who practice feminine leadership, they are the kings and the queens, and embrace feminine leadership, you know. And I noticed that over my 20 years of coaching, there are certain people who succeed and certain people who don't. And that is where I notice is the mindset as well as how they lead themselves and others. Yeah. So over the years, especially recently, it is already happening right now. Okay. So I want to be very upfront with all of you on the way the world is transforming right now, especially in the post-COVID era. And you have seen this in the news. People talk about it. You see it on the social media, and there's a lot of fear tactics going on. Oh, this country is going through this and that. But it is already predicted many years ago. People who have prepared for it, they are actually thriving already. People who are firefighting and like, oh, complain about the economy, they are still in that struggle mode. Okay. So what are these things that's happening right now? One is financial crisis, which is already where it is right now this year with inflation. And I know some of you have already alerted me. I got some people who already mentioned to me that, oh, I noticed what you said in the talks, in your training is true. I went to the groceries and I noticed all the prices have increased. And it's not just in Malaysia. People have in Singapore also have been saying about this, and around the world about prices of food. And you know that we also have a horse, right? And we work with horses as well. So even the horse feed has increased. So financial crisis is real. Inflation is real, and it's already happening. It's not like in the future sometime it's going to happen. It's happening right now. All right. Food security is another thing. And this is happening to countries. And I know Rasha's from Yemen, you mentioned this. In Yemen right now, the food security issues is serious. And it's not just in the war, countries going through war, but there are countries even in Europe and some areas in America, even first world countries are facing food crisis issues, right? And recently also there was a talk about this in Singapore, right? About the lack of chicken in the market and all that. So even though it is not so obvious right now, but this is also happening, okay? The other one is geopolitical changes. And this is very obvious. You see this around the world everywhere where, there's a lot of revolt. The citizens are revolting against the leadership of their country. Politics is transforming. People do not want to be led by certain types of people, right? So these are geopolitical changes happening around the world. Climate crisis. Just recently, I saw one news feature in Al Jazeera of Tul. I think there's a country that is sinking. The water levels is going up. So that over the years, the next couple of years, there's going to be no more country of theirs, and they have to move somewhere else. Obviously they cannot live underwater. We are human, right? So it is sinking, and this is happening around the world too. Climate crisis is real, but are we going to sit around and complain about it, or are we going to step up and do something about it and make sure that we live happily and we also help the people around us live successfully as well? All right. And last but not least, we also have migration. And migration is where, I work a lot with refugees as well. A lot of them, especially in Malaysia, they come here because as a refugee, because of the wars in their countries. We call this migration, yeah? Even though they are not known as migrants, they are known as refugees. We call this still a migration. Now, migrants can also be people moving or leaving their countries because of economy. So we in that are right now, even though people don't use the term, economic refugees, because they cannot live in their own countries anymore. It is not just economically not possible. That's where people start to move to different countries. The other one is climate. The other one is war. Yeah. And the migration of the world is moving in a much tremendous way. People are moving around because of instabilities in their own countries, and people receiving all of these other migrants, right? There's going to be a change in the way people deal with each other, people live their lives, even the economy. There's going to be shifts in this as well, right? So what are the solutions? And Love and Respect, my company Love and Respect Transforms, we advocate all of these things that can keep a community sustainable. Number one, of course, we believe in environment preservation. So people talk about, being environment conscious and all that. this is something that if you're not aware, it's something to educate yourself on already. Yeah. The other thing then, this is the topic that we are talking about tonight, which is leadership styles. Leadership has got to be green leadership. Green leadership meaning that it's conscious, it's eco-conscious. You are not just thinking of, I've got to hit my goal, my target, but it is all about making sure that not only you hit your target, but you help other people hit their targets as well, and the community as well as the whole planet. As that is what green leadership is about, right? Your leadership will actually be good for people in generally as well as the planet. And we have feminine leadership, which is heart-centered, soul-centered, spiritually led, intuitive led, yeah, a collaboration, more nurturing. So this kind of leadership instead of the instructional way of leading, yeah. And I also believe in sustainable land development. We are given, you know, this God-given earth to us to live in. Why not we make use of this earth sustainably so that it not only benefits and produces food for us, but for the people around the world as well, yeah? And inner sustainability is what I was talking about, the effects of COVID when people go into mental health issues, stress, depression. This is what we call about mental health resilience, emotional resilience, as well as strengthening spiritual health as well. It's all about the inner work. The inner work is first in order for you to have a good outer life, yeah? So these are the solutions. And the other thing that I also believe in is we have to have relationship building within and across borders. We cannot just within ourselves and just our own communities hope that we can survive. When we build relationships around the world, that is how we can all thrive together. And just now, Zeal was talking about how during COVID, we were, you know, unsure about how we're going to change our business model. And because of our relationship with people across the world, like in Canada, we could actually get some ideas. And even, you know, we were supported, we support him. And, you know, we all network with one another. And that's how, you know, we got visible in countries all over the world as well. And we invite you to do the same. Okay. So these are newspaper articles. These are not my words. These are newspaper articles that have been printed and also shared on social media on Malaysians being told to plant their own food and breed livestock to battle food shortages. There's also an article in the New York Post on food shortages to hit the world. The Economist also talks about the coming food catastrophe. And we also have an article in, where is this from? Where is this from? I can't see. Malaysia Now, okay, on the flood crisis. Yeah, so floods are also something that is an effect of climate crisis. And we have the migration crisis. This talk by, written about it in the Washington Post, the Wall Street. Bloomberg also talks about Wall Street, saying recession is coming, and world leaders calling for urgent action on food security. So these are words that have been already mentioned in around the world. Yeah, this is in Business Times Singapore, and recently in the Star newspaper as well. There's a front page message saying back to basics. With inflation on the rise, the shortage of essential foodstuffs, experts are calling for their country to go back to its roots and boost the agriculture sector and reduce food imports to keep the cost of living down. So this is what is really happening around the world. And if a lot of people are still living their life, doing the same thing over and over again, whenever, you know, another crisis starts, that's where people will be firefighting. So we invite you all to be prepared. Starting with the way you lead yourself, the way you lead others, using feminine leadership, going into agriculture, going into environment consciousness, you know, building a business that is actually win-win-win-win. Yeah, win-win-win-win means you win, your customers win, your suppliers win, and it's also it wins in the community, wins in the eyes of God. Everything, you know, it's going to be beneficial for everything. Yeah, so this is what we highly encourage you to start shifting your life on, right? And I'm just going to be sharing right now on the rise of feminine leadership and how powerful it is and how I have benefited so much from it in terms of my business and also in the way, my whole mindset and the way how I see things and how I lead as well. Yeah. So before I go into that, I'm going to share with you on why feminine leadership. And every time I talk about feminine leadership, and I'm not going to change the words feminine leadership to any other kinds of leadership, because some people have been telling me about, oh, feminine leadership is not for men, it's for women only. And it's something that I disagree on. Men can embrace feminine leadership, especially if they're highly masculine and they need to balance it out with their feminine energy. And there are some women who are also highly masculine and they need to balance it out with a feminine energy. Yeah. And vice versa. There are also some people who are highly feminine, but they don't even have the proper masculine structures and all that, right? So just examples of when your masculine energy is not at its peak or at its best, this is what happens to the person, right? The person is very forceful and aggressive. Hey, buy from me lah, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah. Oh, why you all not listening to me? You got to listen to me. You know, that kind of very forceful, aggressive, masculine energy. And this can come from a man or woman, right? And that shows that there's a lot of inner work that is missing inside, because a person who is very healthy internally will not be forceful and aggressive and will be able to lead through influence, through negotiation, through asking questions, right? Through influence. Yeah. Another one, a wounded masculine energy is also someone who's very controlling. Like they have to be in charge of everything. They got to be doing everything themselves, you know. And this is something is also very unhealthy, because the masculine energy is a very giving energy. So when a person overgives, they are very much in a tight, there's a lot of pain in the masculine energy. Yeah. And another thing is, yeah, I talk about overgiving. Like this can come from also from a woman where they do everything for everyone and not receiving. And that is also an indication of a wounded masculine energy. And when a person is overgiving, there will come to a time where they will say that, you know, they get very frustrated. They get very frustrated because the energy is stuck. There's no giving and receiving in return. Okay, so it becomes a state of overgiving and overly self-protective. A masculine energy is a very protective energy. It is the masculine is meant to protect, to provide, to give, right? But when it is a wounded masculine energy, the person becomes overly self-protective. Like they're so scared that anybody comes close to them. They get very conscious. They get very uptight, you know. And they also, a wounded masculine energy is someone who is highly analytical and not doing anything. They're over-analyzing, overthinking, overlooking at every problem, but there was no action done, right? So the other one, also a wounded masculine energy, is when a person is emotionally numb. They don't feel anything. They don't want to feel sad. They just numb themselves of any emotions, and they show up through anger, through scolding people. Yeah, all of those things. Yeah. So if you have any questions at this point, feel free to write in the chat. Okay, any questions at this point? Okay, so that's where there is an imbalance in the masculine and feminine energies. So examples of wounded feminine energy. So there are also feminine energy that is not healthy, right? For example, this shows when a person is emotionally chaotic. They, you know, somebody says something, they start to shout. They get so angry so fast. They get so emotional. They cry over something so easily when, you know, it is something that, you know, they make small problems very big. It becomes very chaotic internally for them. The other one is they have a lot of shame. They're too shameful and they feel guilty all the time, and they hide behind, you know, they don't want to show up. Some people, like I've worked with also, you know, when we coach people to do business, we encourage them to go on live, go on let's say Facebook Live and all that. And they were like so scared to show up online with carrying so much shame, like, oh, it's so bad for me. If I show up, people will make fun of me. I'm so guilty, I feel. And that is a very wounded feminine energy. And I always share this with all of my clients, right? It's okay for you to be modest. It's good to be modest, but don't be ashamed of your business. When you show up online, when you talk about your business, you are proud because you have a solution to people's problems. You believe in your product. You believe in your service. You believe in your values, right? So when a person carries a lot of shame and guilt, that shows some internal work that needs to be done, right? They have weak boundaries. They cannot say no to people. They just receive, energetically without boundaries, because the feminine energy is about receiving. Feminine, this is the natural female energy. Feminine energy is meant to receive. Masculine energy is meant to give, right? So when a feminine energy receive, but they don't put in any boundaries, that's where they take in a lot of toxic people in their lives. They cannot say no when they mean yes. They cannot say yes when they mean no. All of these things, yeah? The other thing is they become so codependent. Like they believe to be successful, they have to be tied down to a certain thing. They have to be with a certain thing, or they believe they cannot be successful on their own. Okay. And also a wounded feminine energy becomes overly timid, so scared of things. Like, I always say this, don't be scared of humans, be scared of, God was the only one, right? But they're overly timid and it becomes at all the unnecessary places. Yeah. So that is an example of a feminine energy that is wounded. And that's why we need to be healing. We need to have a healthy balance of masculine and feminine energy, right? And a wounded feminine energy also feels unworthy, like they're always not good enough, they are bad and all that. So it comes with guilt and shame at the same time, yeah? So that's the imbalance, and a very unhealthy imbalance of energies that if any of you feel like this, it is time for you to work on yourself and heal them, because without that, moving on to the next step in succeeding in your business, in manifesting, is going to be blocks as well, right? So we love to work with people on this as well, yeah? So examples of healthy masculine energy: present and grounded, yeah? A person who has a healthy masculine energy is also a very healthy leader. Healthy leader meaning not just in terms of physical health, but in terms of their emotional, spiritual health. They have a very pleasant way of leading that people just want to follow them, right? And also they have clear direction. They know where they want to go. They are decisive. They don't say things like, I'm not sure. What do you think? I cannot make a decision without your okay. That kind of thing. That is not a healthy masculine energy. When when you are running a business, or when you are running an organization, or you are leading your communities, even your families, you've got to have very clear decisions. Yeah. Yes is yes, no is no. And a healthy masculine energy is also someone who listens and observes. And remember when I said somebody who is unhealthy in terms of the masculine energy, they become over analyzing, right? That is part of the masculine way. You analyze, but you make a decision, right? You don't analyze and you can't make your own decision. So a healthy masculine energy listens and observes. So that keeps the masculine energy in balance and in health. How about the healthy feminine energy? When a leader, a person who is in the feminine energy and it's very healthy, you will see the person is very honest, very happy, very intuitive. They can sense things, they can feel things, certain things is not right. They make a decision on that. They're very receptive and warm. They're not like people people are so scared to talk to them and all that, right? They are very receptive and warm, and they have healthy boundaries. They don't I mentioned about unhealthy boundaries is like receiving all the things, right? But a healthy feminine energy has healthy boundaries that she sets herself, right? And she's also very magnetic. Like people will just get drawn to her. And this comes from a state of being. And also, the healthy feminine energy is very open. Okay. So when a person has both healthy masculine and feminine energies, that's where you get to be a really quality leader. And you can lead your business, you can lead your life, you can lead your lifestyle all in a much healthier way. Okay. And now I'm going to share with you why I talk about equine. Now, if you understand the English word, equine means working with horses, right? An equestrian is someone who rides horses, yeah, like myself. So why the equine program in feminine leadership? I love working with horses. For the last year, slightly over a year now that I have been riding horses or learning to ride horses and also doing horseback archery, I find that horses, especially, you know, the animals, can really mirror you energetically. And I can be teaching people, we do visualization, we do a lot of brainstorming and all that, to release certain negative energies, to step up and become a very good leader. But it shows when you are with a horse, when you are on a horse, or you are working with a horse, right? So it comes out through your energy because the horse will mirror that. And this is where we will invite you to come to Johor with us to attend the Equeen Leadership Retreat, where we will be working with you internally as well as externally with horses on really balancing your masculine and your feminine energies. Yeah. So one of the ways where you can really step into your equine level of leadership is this. Yeah. Number one, and you can copy this down, right? A good leader knows your purpose. Why are you here? Why do you start your business? For example, why are you in your department? Why are you in your organization? Why are you, doing the work that you are doing? You know what your purpose is, and you are very clear on that. And if you're not sure, that's where during the retreat, we'll really deep dive and go into that purpose. Yeah. And the other one is knowing your worth. We work with you on confidence building. And in the Equine Blueprint, a person who is naturally balanced between the masculine and the feminine energies, right? They are very confident and they know their worth. You know, feminine leaders who are healthy internally, they know their value. They will not say yes to everything, and they are not, really uptight, with people, like they're not warm. And some people are not warm with others, right? So a family leader, she knows her worth, she's very confident, and yet she is also warm. The other one is your money mindset. And this is something I really deep dive with my clients as well. And I notice this, a lot of people, because of a very unhealthy money mindset, they don't charge enough. They will undercharge. They are so scared that other people will steal their customers. They are so scared in the workplace. They are so scared when someone is being praised by their boss. And they say, oh no, that person is getting ahead of me. You know, they don't believe that there's more enough opportunities. They don't believe there's more than enough money, in their mind. And when that money mindset is limited and unhealthy, a lot of other areas in a person's life is affected. So now I'm just going to give you one tip, right? Especially on having a healthy money mindset. One of the things I want you to ask yourself is this: is there something that you remember your mother or your father saying to you about money that you hold on to and you really believe? For example, money does not grow on trees. Yeah. Money is tight. You got to work very hard to get money. Example would be also is like other people, very easy to get money, not us. For us, it's our fate, it's our life that we don't have money. If any of these things, any of this actually show up for you, I'd like you to reframe your mind and see things and tell yourself, there's more than enough money. God provides. There's 7 billion people in the world. There's more than enough customers for me. And when you have that shift in your mindset, everything else will open up for you. Okay. So these are just some tips that I'm sharing with you now. And during our retreat, we will really deep dive into a lot of money issues and really take out all the nonsense that is sitting inside your brain. The other thing also I often hear is that, oh, I don't speak English very well. I don't have a degree. I'm not highly educated. You know, there are a lot of people who are not highly educated, who are billionaires in this world, okay? Now, the other thing is the Equeen blueprint is talking about queen leadership with horses and animals. And this is something that I have to, work with you during the Desa retreat, where we will be inviting you to work with the horses in the farm, as well as the alpacas that are available there. Also, there are some lambs. And when you surround yourself with animals, you align your energy with nature, and using that energy, that like as you were around surrounded by animals, using that clear energy around them, when you are with people, when you are with your loved ones, when you are with your followers, use that energy as well. Yeah. And also we'll talk about communication and presentation skills. And this is something that we support our clients on. And during the Equeen workshop, we will also cover, we'll touch aspects of communication into the training as well. Yeah. And the other Equeen blueprint is having the entrepreneurial mindset. The entrepreneurial mindset is, for us, is not just about making money. Of course, making profits is important to a business. The entrepreneurial mindset is actually to grow your empire and do good at the same time through your business. The money you generate is actually doing good for people and planet. That is the entrepreneurial mindset that we invite you to have. Number 7 is the Equeen blueprint also helps to release past toxic relationship and experience trauma. This is where we'll work on visualization. We'll also get you to ride the horses, because horses is a great way of releasing some past trauma, as well as negative emotions. Yeah. So this is where we'll be working with you on as well. And the other one will be the attraction factor. So we also work with you on how to attract money, abundance, and thriving relationships just through your energy alone. Yeah. So align your energy with the amount of money and lifestyle that you desire. And I'll also cover personal grooming, personal branding, empowerment. And this is normally in our one-on-one training, where I work with people on their personal branding, how they're going to brand themselves, especially when they are in business or they want to enhance their career. And also, the last but not least, is on resilience and focus. And this is what the Equeen mindset does, right? It has resilience and focus. Yeah. So just want to share with you, this is a lovely young lady from Afghanistan who attended our last masterclass on Equeen leadership, feminine leadership. And she has said that this class has, for me, was having a will and a goal for this new year, have a positive attitude, and have new plans and mindset in my business for 2023. Doing the work with love and trying to have an impact on the world with our business, and try to have good energy to pass it on to others. These are things that really influence me, and I try to implement them in my life, especially my business and future, inshallah. Thank you so much for this masterclass that you and Miss Murshidah held. Lots of good energy. So this is from Sarah from Afghanistan. And also, I just want to share with you my personal journey, stepping into my feminine leadership. I'm here with the person who also one of the key people who actually mentored me to get into feminine leadership. And when I stepped into my feminine leadership, I start to know my worth. I start to dream bigger, and I attracted bigger things. I have a no excuses policy. Before this, I'm always thinking of my problems, but now it's like no excuses policy. Let's go find the solutions. I started to create clear boundaries in my life, and I started to take full responsibility of my life. And that's where one after another, I saw things transform for me over the years when I stepped into feminine leadership. One of them was in 2017. I was awarded the Best Personal Brand Award by the Marketing Institute of Singapore. In 2019, Zeal and I, we were given the Brands for Good Award for our work with refugees on community business model. And 2019 also, this was an award we received in Penang under the Sustainable Network of Malaysia under the Green Project Management. And I was in the Queen program with Gina Devi, with amazing other top coaches, women coaches around the world. And as you can see, I'm the only Asian in the group. But, you know, that was when I stepped into my feminine leadership, right? And also wanted to share with you on Zeal using his visibility when he embraced both masculine and feminine energies. And he started to manifest his meeting with Les Brown, you know, someone he has been wanting to meet for a very long time. Yes. 20 over years he wanted to meet him. And when we were in the US, in Arizona, Les Brown actually called Zeal up on stage amongst hundreds of people to go and dance with him on stage. Yeah, so here he's looking so happy, Zeal looking so happy. And that's me also on stage amongst all the other leaders around the world. 2021, during COVID, Excellent Business Magazine in the US gave me the Transformational Women Leaders Award. Yeah. And I was featured in a magazine, and again, I was the only Asian there as well. And one of the breakthroughs that I found was during the US election, the city council in Tampa actually invited me to speak on love and respect because they wanted to unite people from, you know, all their different beliefs in their city. Who, you know, people during election, sometimes people fight amongst each other. So they invited me to speak on how to unite using love and respect. And, you know, from that incident alone, what I realized is that each and every one of us have that knowledge, that ability, that someone around the world wants to learn from you, wants to hear from you, wants to be able to buy from you. And if you are not visible, if you are wounded in any way, energetically, whether masculine or feminine, you are holding yourself back. So I invite you to join us on this journey, embrace the feminine leadership, and be part of our Equeen retreat this coming January, end of January, we are having this, and you are all invited. And, you know, some of the amazing things that I will share with you is how to manifest energetically what you desire in your life and start to create the life that you want. You know, all of these pictures were things that I thought of a long time ago that I wanted, and I'm actually living it right now, right? So we also, one of the gifts of manifestation, and, you know, God has gifted us an adoption of an X-race horse who's amazing in our lives right now. His name is Luhive. This is our beloved horse. And also we work with amazing people in Desaru that we want to support you through this journey of stepping into your feminine leadership. We work with KOREF Farm, KOREF Desaru Leisure Farm. And this is the stone houses that most of our participants will be staying in, or they can choose to stay in the tree house. Yeah. And there's also campfires that we'll be having together. And you will also be invited to come to our Agro Farm Love and Respect Sanctuary, where we will get you, for you who are horse riders, you will get to ride on the horse and see this beautiful scenery, be around nature and animals, align your energy with horses and alpacas that are there as well. And for those of you who are not riders, don't worry, we will give an opportunity for you to ride by handheld. Yeah, so somebody will be guiding you and walking you with the horse, but you get on the horse, and we will also brief you on what to do when you are on the horse as well. And, you know, for those of you who are experienced riders as well, you know, we highly recommend that you come and ride the trail ride with us, and you get to see the beautiful scenic view up the hill. This Zeal and I is one of the one of the top of the hills in Desaru, where it's really beautiful. You can see the ocean, you can see the whole area, the farms. And we desire to create a sustainable lifestyle community. So that's why I'd like to invite you also, as you become a part of the Equeen Leadership community and Equeen Leadership program, you will be part of the community where we will support one another for you to elevate in your business. And that is the time where you can be a part of our huddles and our training as well. Yeah. We also have a community that we are building for horse riders as well. They can come to our farm, and these are some pictures of some of the people in the community who have come to our farm as well. And there with the alpacas and people from Singapore, people from Desaru that came over to visit. And this is the overview of the land that we have. We have already started. We talk about sustainable land development. This is something that's already started, and we are growing, and we are working with an amazing entrepreneur, Ashraf Baka, who owns Alia Race Farms and Agropreneur Farms, and he started the sanctuary, and you know, we'd love to grow it even further. And he's also an expert in livestock management and livestock farming, and also agriculture. We also have people like a friend of ours, Nazir, who is an expert in agriculture, that we'd love to start growing agriculture in the land as well, and we invite you to be a part of it. Okay, so how do you want to create your ideal life and your business and be in leadership? And instead of just talking about it and dreaming about it and hoping about it, why not come and be a part of our community and be a part of our learning and grow at the same time? Commit to your success, commit to your future. Yeah. And this was my impact goals in 2022. And I will carry this forward also in 2023, where we built water pumps in Cambodia. And we also will continue to build leadership amongst marginalized communities. This is Zeal here talking to the homeless community. We are looking to rescue more horses and bringing more horses into the sanctuary and develop the land further, growing the communities, and inviting you to our Equeen Leadership Retreat. So at the Equeen Leadership Retreat, it is going to be from Friday to Sunday on the 27 to 29 of January at the KOREF Desaru Leisure Farm and the Agro Farm Love and Respect Sanctuary. There will be training, there will be discussions, there will be visualizations, there will be experiences, there will be you working with horses and other animals for you to be working with nature. We will be guiding you on how to lead like a queen. And you get to mastermind with a high vibe community on your path to creating your 5 to 6 figure income and beyond. We also want to work with you on resetting your beliefs around purpose, money, and relationships. We'd like for you to connect with your inner strength, heal all those wounded energies, work with us here and start to heal, like let go of all of those wounded energies, and let's be healthy energetically in your masculine as well as your feminine, and get into that manifesting energy to attract your desires. Yeah. So we'll be led by myself and with Zeal during this journey. And these are some of the topics that we will address: how to expand your money mindset, develop your queen leadership by working with horses, build your confidence, release past toxic relationship and experience trauma, attract money and abundance and thriving relationships, and aligning your energy through nature. So I also love for you to hear some of the testimonies of our past clients who have benefited from our programs.
One long journey with Murshidah and Zeal, and it's been an amazing journey. You know, when I first started getting on board, I knew the kind of progress that I wanted to move towards, but Zeal and Murshidah guided me towards it. I've gained a lot of mental strength, emotional strength, and I can also see so much breakthroughs that took place in my business. So from a business of not earning money and like giving too much, not earning money, I'm finally able to be able to cash out my own salary and then pay now I have 4 people in my team. Just 1 year, you know, so like, mashallah, alhamdulillah, it's such a great achievement. I highly recommend for anyone who's on the fence and doubting to join this, don't doubt, just get started and join the program. You will see so much growth, and you will see that you are in a different energy level and different position than you were before you joined it. I highly recommend this program to Zeal, that Zeal and Murshidah has created, to anyone who's wanting to start a business.
Okay, that's Huda, who is now, she is very successful in her business right now, and she runs a platform called Fempreneur Secrets, and you are all welcome to follow her also on Instagram as well. And this is the rate that we are offering right now, right? Which is a special rate, is the Equeen Leadership Retreat. A normal rate will be at 2,500 per person, but for this group, if you sign up today, we are offering it at how much? 2,000 only, 2,000 ringgit, and includes food and accommodation during that whole trip. Yeah, so you just need to get yourself there. You know, there are buses that can take you to Johor. There are also for those of you who drive, you can drive there, and if you are outside of Malaysia, you can fly into Johor and take a car over to the place, and we would welcome you to join us in this life transforming. And a lot of times people will say things like, oh, I've got no time, I'm busy, I've got no money and all that, how to go and all that. You know, that is a lot of reasons that I have also put in my head in the past, and that has not kept me successful at all. It has kept me stuck for many years and still complaining about the same thing over and over again, until I changed my question and said, how can I get there? What do I need to do? And that was my first breakthrough, to get myself there and get myself, you know, into a mentorship that I know that will be life transforming for me, will change my life. And I made a commitment to get the best out of the program that I enroll myself in. And that's what I invite you to change your life, to transform your leadership and start to lead like a queen, and also create the kind of life that you desire. I mean, it doesn't have to copy my way of lifestyle. It is something that you desire for yourself, right? And that is something that I would highly recommend you. So with that, I would love to ask if anyone has any questions. Feel free to ask questions, and you know, I'll be happy to answer them before we end the session. Okay, so if we don't have any questions, we're going to end the session right now. So would you all like to turn on your cameras? We'd love to have a photo with all of you. And you can put in the chat, right? What was your takeaway from this session this evening?
Maybe we can get one round of sharing.
Yeah, maybe we'll do one round of sharing. Maybe why not we start?
What do you learn from the session?
Okay, that's a good one. What do you learn from this session? Maybe we'll start.
Apply.
Yeah. Rasha, what do you learn from this session, and what will you be applying in your life? Rasha, you there? Okay, if not Marwa, how about Marwa? What do you learn and what will you apply? Anybody there? Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, go ahead.
What?
What do you learn and what will you apply? Okay, so all right then. Okay, go ahead. You want to say something? Okay. All right. Anybody else? Shahida, can you? Shahida. Okay, it's Shahida.
Hello. Shaida here.
Hi. Yes, hi Shahida. Okay, so from the session, what do you learn and what will you be applying?
Very informative session.
Mm-hmm.
And success story very interesting.
Yeah, so what will you be applying for yourself? Anything that you would like to, from now on, what will you be doing for yourself? Okay, never
In
mind.
future, inshallah.
Sorry? Or something in the future. All right. Awesome. All right.
Yes, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah. So I'll see you all tomorrow anyway, and then we'll just follow up from there, okay? So are you all available to turn on your cameras to take a photo?
Okay.
So come with questions tomorrow when we have a session, right? If you have questions, then we'll discuss that tomorrow as well. And also your products and services, yeah? There you go. Hi. Anybody? Hi. Okay, there you are.
Okay, bye.
So I get to try your roti tomorrow, some of you. Okay, come, let's take a photo. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye. Have a great
Thank you
day.
so much.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.